3-0 victory in this today's action earlier. So we will see Kilponen making her first start as we get started here in the nightcap. It has cooled off a bit, but still no chance of rain over the weekend, and a glorious day for softball. Avery Steiner will open it for the Illini, and Kilponen rocks and fires and misses a little bit high and away.
It's a 68-mile-an-hour pitch on her very first one of the season, and she'll stay consistently in that range.
Steiner in the first game had 3 at-bats. She was 1 for 3 with a run driven in and a couple of runs scored, so she was effective at the top of the order.
And that's what you want your leadoff hitter to do. Get on base. See pitches.
That had some heat behind it and ripped the outside corner.
And Kilponen already ahead of this hitter, 1-2. She'll work quick.
Yes, she does. She likes to get it and chunk it. That rise ball lifts out of the strike zone.
Started that pitch a little bit too high out of the zone to begin it with.
A check swing strike and a strikeout to open the game as Steiner could not hold on to the swing.
And nickname for Kilponen from the team is Killer K. And she starts off the 2022 season for herself with a strikeout.
Let's check LSU defensively. Presley at second base and Pleasance at shortstop, the middle infielders. Clark and Coffey return to the corners. Newland and Briggs and Smith in the outfield from left to right for LSU.
And that's a change, a few changes there from the first game.
And another one is Calland behind the plate. Kate Calland is receiving Kilponen.
Beth Torina wants to see a lot of faces this weekend and intends to play, tries to play everybody.
Meade had a couple of base hits earlier today. She drove in 3 runs and scored once. So she provided a great deal of the Illini offense.
You know, this is a very young Illini team. The first year of softball was 2000. Well, they haven't been playing that long. A little bit of history with LSU. Met in regionals in 2004, and the Tigers beat them to get to the World Series. And that regionals was played in Baylor.
These teams have played a fair number of times. I find that a little bit odd, but they have hooked up. Coffey and Pleasance on the left side of the infield. Island and Clark on the right side. Newland, Briggs, and Smith in the outfield. Calland catching. LSU in its solid purple, trimmed in gold. This is nubbed out to right. It will carry far enough for Morgan Smith, and there's the second out. So Allie Kilponen has struck out a batter and induced a fly ball to right. It was in the low 70s this afternoon. It's 66 right now, clear skies, light south-southwest winds. That's going to make the folks up in Champaign, Illinois a bit jealous perhaps. It's 37 right now, a low of 16 tonight. High tomorrow in Champaign, a balmy 22 degrees.
They can have it.
and a low of 7 tomorrow night.
Yikes. That would be every pipe breaking in Baton Rouge if that happened here.
There's a hard strike. So right now, Yvette, there's about a 30-degree difference between Champaign, Illinois, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And probably a 40-degree difference tomorrow, if not more, in favor of the southern location. Rummel takes that one away. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The bases are empty. The University of Illinois against LSU.
Callan behind the plate. We saw her a few times last year, not many.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ooh, that got the umpire, and he goes stumbling back. That's Chris Tahanika. And Chris need not get in a hurry to try to get back up.
I think he was really trying to get out of the way of that ball, tripped himself, and
it looked like the ball made contact with his upper leg, and then he stumbled. And
yeah, you'll see it's just a little awkward. Kind of got him in the hip and just lost his balance. Kind of looks like me on a dance floor. I guess we shouldn't make light of this, but he's okay.
That's not a Cajun two-step. Okay. That's not a Cajun two-step,
He's really
though.
okay.
Yes, he is. Your pride is wounded a little bit, but certainly when you get off balance like that, you can hurt yourself.
Tripped over his own feet.
So Chris is a warrior. He will stay behind the plate. Rummel swings late at a pitch and strikes out, and Kilponen fans 2 of the first 3 batters that she faces. A 1-2-3 inning, and we move on. LSU coming to the plate as Kilponen goes to the heater early. Welcome back, everyone. The Fighting Illini went in order in the top of the first inning. LSU is coming to the plate and taking a look at the pitches from Lauren Wiles.
We're going to see a drop ball pitcher mainly, so she's going to just try to keep the ball in the park, and she's going to throw in the mid-60s.
And this is the LSU lineup that she will face. Briggs, Pleasance, Sunseri, Clark, Newland, Coffey, Smith, Pylon, and Calland. Briggs is very likely to be the leadoff batter the entire year.
I would think so. She's also a TikTok star. Not that we know anything about that.
A what star?
TikTok.
A quick strike to the leadoff batter. Briggs in the first game was 0 for 2. She walked and had a sacrifice bunt, fly to left and lined to the shortstop.
You see that drop ball?
Yeah, she ran up on that one and missed it late.
Wicked. 67-mile-an-hour drop ball.
So Briggs, the Californian, is down in the count, 2 strikes, as we play early in game 2 of this opening day of the Tiger Classic. LSU and the Fighting Illini. Briggs goes down on 3 deliveries from Lauren Wiles.
It's a heavy ball she is throwing.
Now batting for the Tigers, shortstop number 17, Taylor Pleasance.
This brings on Taylor Pleasance for the Tigers. Pleasance looks at one inside.
SEC Newcomer of the Year last year. It's been a while since LSU had one as a freshman or a newcomer.
Taylor Pleasance in the first game was 0 for 3 on 2 fly balls to center field on a strikeout, and she drubs this one for an easy out on the infield. Let's check the Fighting Illini defense. Meade and Vickery and Robles in the outfield. Ward and Steiner on the infield, along with Rummel and Powell on the corners of the infield. And Loya is catching. Here's Shelby Sinceri. Stee right. Yvette, both starting pitchers have come out and been right on in the first inning.
They're bringing it. Of course, at night it even looks faster. We're in the 67, 68 mile an hour range. That's what the Tigers need to do, though. Some of these, especially the one to Briggs, those drop balls, not all of them are strikes. So they're going to have to see the ball up. Good to have that leg guard there. Otherwise, she'd be hopping around right now.
Do you think it's harder for a hitter to stay off a rise ball that starts in the strike zone or to stay off a drop that starts in the strike zone?
Well, I think, okay, so you said starts in the strike zone. That's the key right there.
Right.
Identification.
A 1-2-3 inning for Lauren Wiles, including a couple of strikeouts, which mimics the output from LSU's Allie Kilponen. The starting pitching has been unblemished early. We are scoreless as we hit. Nobody has reached base through the first inning here as the Illini from LSU do battle in the Tiger Classic, the final game of this first day. These teams have played 5 times despite their distance apart, which is about 750 miles or so. They've not played since 2017. LSU leads the series 3-2 and has taken 2 out of 3 in previous matchups in Baton Rouge.
Haven't seen any change-ups from the pitchers yet. It's just rocking fire right now.
Yes, it is. Bella Loya swings and pops it up. And it's squeezed by the LSU second baseman. Pylon out there in game 2.
You potentially could see 3 second basemen, 3 or 4 different outfielders.
Now batting first baseman number 5, Kaylee Powell.
Here's Kaylee Powell. First pitch swinging, another chance for the second baseman, and 2 quick outs on the right side. You mentioned it, Kilponen likes to get it. She likes to deliver it quickly, and that keeps everybody defensively very sharp, up on your toes.
Everybody likes a game like that. Fans, we do, and especially your defense, so they're not back on their heels just waiting for the next pitch. See that big curveball there, break.
Riono falls behind 0-1. Riono had one at bat and got a base hit and drove in a run coming off the bench against Central Arkansas. That was a 9-0 victory for the Illini.
Oh, nice play by Clark.
Georgia Clark reaching across her body to make up the pick up the bounce. And on 6 pitches, Kilponen gets her team back to the dugout. Nothing out of the infield in the second. In her first at bat this season, hit a towering home run over the center field wall to give LSU a 2-0 lead in the first inning against South Alabama. Let's go back to the first inning of the first game for LSU.
It was a mistake, and Clark jumped all over that pitch, and it was a berm bomb with an emphasis on that home plate.
Clark finished 1 for 3. There may be a play here, and yes, it's made nicely by the first baseman. Very, very nicely done on that right side in foul ground as you watch Kaylee Powell lean as far as she can.
Finds the fence with her opposite hand, the way you teach, and gets that all-important out, because you know what? The next pitch could be over the fence.
Here's Allie Newland. She is first pitch swinging and perhaps a bit tardy, as she got a piece of it.
They're going to be a little late. This girl is chunking, and that's not what they saw in the first game. So they'll need the Tigers will need some adjusting from pitch to pitch, inning to inning.
Newland was not a regular part of the lineup as a starter last year, but she's going to have an opportunity here in 2022.
But you could see potential that she could be a very good player for the Tigers.
She runs well. 0 for 3 in the first game, a couple of ground outs and a fly to left. You know, it's interesting, Yvette, over the last decade or so, we have seen some, in some cases, not so subtle changes in offensive approach. A lot less sacrifice bunts, a lot more full swings. Newland does so on that pitch, and that's her first base hit of the season with a hard knock up the middle. Well, we've seen this game offensively explode, especially in the last 5 years.
Well, all of the changes have been for more offense in the game for fans, and no question, teaching has improved, and you know, the game has come a long way from sacrifice bunt 2 times in a row, because you couldn't score runs, especially when we were pitching at 40 feet and the ball was white and the bats were dead. All of that has changed now.
Analytics has come into the offensive approach as well, with a lot of number crunching on, okay, what are the best chances? Do we sacrifice here or do we swing fully? And the tendency has been to get away from nearly as much sacrifice bunting as was the case a decade ago.
Absolutely, and you know, I'm going to say it mirrors baseball a lot. The one aspect that I don't think we truly mirror baseball in a lot of is hit and runs.
True.
You know, we just this game can still be. I'm not saying baseball can't be pitcher dominated, but I think this game far more so.
That's tipped foul at the plate. Coffey at third base for the second straight game. Danica was 1 for 3 and scored a run in the first game. She had an infield hit in the second inning. There's only one play, and that's to first base. I'm a little bit surprised that the play was not made at second, especially when Newland sort of hesitated.
And the ball was hit hard. Yeah,
there's plenty of time to go to second base.
All day long. That will be pointed out on the bus ride.
Well, it allows Newland to get into scoring position with 2 outs for Morgan Smith.
Another Tiger we didn't see much of last year, but I know she has a ton of power.
Morgan Smith is a sophomore. She had a very small sample size last year.
She must have shown something in practice here lately. You know, that's where you earn your chances to play every day. Perform in practice so you give your coach confidence that you're going to perform in a game.
She lays off that pitch. Newland at second base. She will be moving with contact. The first baseman runs over and grabs it. A nice play to end the inning by Kaylee Powell. And so the Tigers leave a base runner at second. They have not yet connected on the day with a runner in scoring position. We are scoreless as we go to the third. Tyra Perry is the coach of the Illini, but her softball career as a player runs through Baton Rouge at LSU, and she was a very solid player for the Tigers. In fact, helping LSU to its first NCAA regional appearance in the late 1990s.
That's when the program was brought back. You say runs through Baton Rouge. She's a Baton Rouge native. And in the locker room for a long time, there was a bat that was dented, and it said, "We bust our bats for the pitchers here at LSU." And it was her bat that she had hit a home run with. So big ties to this program.
She actually started her career at Nichols in the Southland Conference down in Thibodaux, and then transferred to LSU for a couple of very productive years.
Yep, when the LSU program started, it started off phenomenally. And here's the first base hit here.
Right fielder, number 2, Gabby Robles.
So a leadoff batter is aboard. Hyland at first, or beg your pardon, Vickery at first base with Robles at the plate, and she is tardy on the swing and fouls it out of play. So Yvette, both starting pitchers have now allowed one base hit, and those have been the only base runners. Robles, the right fielder. Ward, the shortstop, is on deck for the Fighting Illini.
And both balls have been hit hard, but when you're throwing that hard, the ball's going to come off of your bat with some pretty good exit velocity.
Both base hits have been skippers up the middle on the ground. Robles came off the bench in the first game for the Illini and did not have a base hit. Actually, she had no at-bats. Came on as a defensive player in right field. And she is starting in right field in this game.
I think we had a pitch out there, and then Callan dropped it. See Callan staying. They think she's going to run. So Illini has an opportunity here for the first run of the game. Great looking screwball for Kimponen though. Let's say not so fast.
That's a big strikeout.
Look at that screwball, just beautiful. At the knees.
Here's Ward with a teammate in scoring position as somebody tries to punch through early. We are scoreless in the third. Steve, right.
Backdoor curve. Pretty good when you can throw a backdoor curve for your first pitch for a strike. Haven't seen too many change-ups from either pitcher yet.
No, both pitchers have been throwing coal into the fire.
Which at some point they're going to have to pull them out of their back pocket because people are going to start timing it.
And don't you think, as we were talking about offensive philosophy last inning, don't you think that the off-speed pitchers are becoming more and more effective and better taught and thrown in any count?
Can't win big time without your changeup. Sorry. Can't win that conference championship, can't win any kind of championship without that deadly changeup.
Ward had a couple of bats against Central Arkansas and was 0 for 2. She went upstairs with the swing and got a little sliver of it. The outfield is medium depth, but playing Ward significantly off to the left side. Allie Kilponen stares in, rocks, and delivers. Popped up. Who's going to get it? The left fielder does. Newland came out of nowhere, and it's a good thing she was there for the Tigers because that would have been very difficult for either Briggs or Pleasance.
It looked like trouble. You're right. She just kind of shot out of nowhere. Pleasance was drawn in on the infield. You're right. Briggs could not have gotten there, so nice play by Newland.
Number 22, Avery Steiner.
Here's Steiner back at the top of the order. 2 outs, a runner in scoring position.
That was a
straight steal on that one.
She protected with the swing. You could tell the swing was not much of one.
So, Coach,
just trying to freeze that Coffey at third. And she's kind of framing that pitch there, so no chance at all.
So let's talk a little strategy here. Do you think it's wise to run from scoring position with 2 outs? She's gonna score on a base hit from second with 2 outs.
Trying to draw a throw at third with an error and score a run. Trying to steal a run there, I believe. Your slapper can put the ball in play. She might be able to beat it out and score the run.
Steiner was very good last year with the bat in her hands. She led the team with a .329 average and made the second team All Big Ten.
And she is a senior.
So the Illini's best hitter at the plate with a runner at third.
Ooh, nice stop by Callan.
Kate Callan behind the dish.
That could have potentially been a run there.
Both the first and last name start with a C.
Catcher Kate. Cat. Catcher Cat.
Coffey gobbles it up on a short hop at third base and makes a pressure play to end the inning. So Steiner grounds out the other way, a runner left at third. We remain scoreless as Coffey is able to get the final out in the top of the third inning. Welcome back to Baton Rouge, everyone. No runs, one hit for both the Illini of Illinois and the LSU Tigers. This is a Big Ten SEC battle. The final game of today's action in the Tiger Classic. A full slate of games tomorrow, and LSU will be involved in a couple of games on Sunday. All of the LSU action will be available right here on the SEC ESPN network.
Got a pitcher's duel here. Pitchers throwing seeds on both sides. Presley Pylon, we didn't see much of her last year.
Beth Torina was quite adamant in telling us earlier in the week that everybody is going to get a legitimate chance early in the season.
That's because she was redshirted. She's been here 2 years, but this is her first year playing.
The 0-2 pitch. Away to Pylon. Kate Calland is on deck, and then the top of the order in Sierra Briggs.
Wiles, our pitcher, is just a freshman, and so far she's looked really good.
That appeared to be an off-speed pitch, and it is dropped by the right fielder who was calling off the second baseman. That's going to be an error on Gabby Robles. Robles appeared to get there and then could not make the catch as she was reaching out for the ball in basket catch fashion.
Now batting for the Tigers, catcher number 47.
Yeah, she's just a little tentative there. Outfielder stays high, infielder stays low. In a situation like that, see that
Callan pokes at it, tried to bunt it, and missed it.
drop balls. When it's that hard to drop, it's hard to bunt.
Callan out of Katy, Texas. That's just west of Houston. You can't tell where Katy starts and Houston stops. There is some good barbecue in Katy.
All the traffic is terrible. Of course, what are we talking about? Baton Rouge is horrible.
Well, when the new bridge is more than half a century old, you've got problems.
Right. That is funny.
No, it ain't funny.
They call it a new bridge, and it's how old? Half a century.
More than that, maybe 55 years or so.
Beth Torina called that bunt off. Well, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. She probably did now.
There's Torina, coaching behind the third base coaching box. Of course, a couple of seasons ago, she was hit by a vicious line drive in the face, and very, very fortunately, she suffered no serious damage, but that was a blow that
could have killed her.
It could have been extremely, extremely dangerous.
Could have killed her. Bianca Bell, who was one of the most prolific power hitters in this program's history, just nailed her.
This twists off into foul ground as it takes a right turn.
You know, it's sometimes at third you just can't get out of the way. Just gets there so quick. But as you see, she's not in her coach's box. She's halfway down the line. You probably never see her really close to a base unless she's directing a runner, but never in an at-bat.
Kate Callan's mother is here from the Houston area. Off speed is up.
Sure, a lot of the parents, opening day, they want to be there for their daughter. It's always exciting for everybody, opening weekend, opening day.
I'm told a fair amount of parents are going down to that Florida tournament
There's a lot of people going to that Florida tournament, and it's a spectator event for softball. It's, as we said, it's a who's who, and the teams are fantastic.
This should advance the runner to second, and it does with one out now.
Just like a sacrifice.
Well, we showed you the field in that tournament that LSU will be involved in next week, and truly, it is a World Series caliber piece of competition.
Talk about not being able to catch a breath.
When we get a chance, we'll show you that field again just to give you an indication of the caliber of World Series play in June that we could see in February in Florida.
Of course, Briggs had a hit the first time up. Wouldn't she like to have one now? Take that back. She didn't have a hit. I like her so much as a player, I just assume she got a hit.
She's going to have plenty of them before this season is over.
She will.
She hit nearly 340 last year. Only Andrews had a better batting average for the Tigers in 2021. There's a base hit up the middle. Let's see if it produces a run. Runner coming around third. Here's the throw. Safe. The throw back to second. Safe there. LSU leads 1-0 on a bingle up the middle by Briggs. Scoring pylon.
He's just a prime-time player. Just a little sophomore, but she's got that it factor and delivers in a prime-time situation.
So the Tigers got a base hit by Briggs at the top of the order, scoring pylon. And it was all set up on an error on a ball that should have been caught by the right fielder.
Yep. Every day of the week.
Pleasance dribbles one to the right side and is thrown out by Wiles. Briggs takes third with 2 gone. Pleasance is looking for her first base hit of the season. She's 0 for 5 on the day and night. Here's Sunseri.
Don't worry, she'll start to hit.
Wiles struck out Sunseri in the first.
Goodbye.
You can pucker up twice, 3 times over the berm. A long home run, a blast off the bat of Shelby Sunseri, and kiss that baby way goodbye.
She cleared, I believe, the second terrace on that berm. Can you say bomb berm? Look at this.
A pitch thigh high down the middle.
No stride.
The twist of the hips, the great torque generated by that swing, and that ball is deep into the night.
And that's the Shelby Sunseri swing we saw in 2019.
So the Tigers take a 3-0 lead here in the third. Here's Georgia Clark, who had a home run in the first inning of the first game. Steal right. Shelby Sunseri just punishes a pitch.
I talked about Bianca Bell's ball coming off her bat viciously. Sunseri's does too. She hits the ball hard.
None of this should have happened to Wiles, but pylon reached on a drop ball by the right fielder. And since then, a base hit by Briggs and a 2-run home run by Sunseri.
That brought the crowd to life.
That's a little bit off the plate.
That's what I talked about the changeup. Everything's the same speed. Oh, but that one was a 49-mile-an-hour changeup. Gonna have to land that pitch, though, for a strike.
Georgia Clark is a very good student. She came to LSU as an engineering major, but found that she couldn't really connect softball and the engineering class schedule. She changed to finance.
And her teammates say they will all be working for her one day. Extremely intelligent. Well, I don't know if I've ever heard of a softball player being not here in engineering.
It's a no-compromise major, that's for sure. And we will have a conference in the circle. Shelby Sunseri has hit the second home run of the season for LSU. Georgia Clark got the first one in the first inning of the first game. Yvette, let's go back and revisit what we were talking about a few seconds ago. Look at all of the ranked teams at one place at one time. The St. Pete Clearwater Elite, you can underscore Elite 2 of college softball. They'll all be playing each other with a tremendous amount of high-level competition.
And this tournament kind of changes teams every year, but it will always have probably that many ranked teams.
That's off the catcher Loya's glove. And Clark moves up to second.
Clark, the emotional vocal leader of this Tiger team. Come to practice and you can hear her.
Here we go to Newland. Nicely done by the second baseman Steiner. And that ends the inning. But Shelby Sunseri absolutely loses a pitch. Way back it goes. We've got liftoff in Baton Rouge. A mammoth home run by Shelby Sunseri. The Tigers get 3 in the inning and take that lead to LSU erupts for 3 in the third and takes that lead into the fourth. And apparently, you get some hardware when you homer as an LSU Tiger.
Yeah, and I think, look at that, the purple chain, the home run chain. Thought it was Mardi Gras beads, but it looks like a chain. It's in all sports now, isn't it?
I used to get a lifesaver if I got a base hit. That wasn't a chain or anything of any notice. And I think it was used, too.
Oh, gosh. Whoa, Coffee, good job. That ball's always going to travel back towards the infield. And there was the classic example of that.
Stevie Meade lifts this one into foul ground, and Coffee nearly overran it.
Always going to come back.
Number 8, Delaney Rummel.
You're right. And she's like, ooh, I just got that.
Here's Delaney Rummel, who struck out in the first. LSU pitching is not yet allowed a run today. Pleasance drifts in and makes the catch for out number 2. Kilponen has had some very quick innings. She has had some innings in which she has thrown just a scant number of pitches.
Gotta love that about the staff. Get it and go.
Here's Bella Loya. It's an elegant name, isn't it?
I was thinking the same thing. Just makes me want to eat pasta or something.
Yep. Kilponen has retired 5 straight batters after the opening single by Vickery in the 3rd.
Now one of Kilponen's better changeup. You can kind of see her arm really slowing down there. The look and the sell of the pitch.
Well, Tiger fans have heard us talk about it before, but I still have to throw out Allie Woljasper as the owner of the best changeup I've ever seen.
Wicked. Just
Would you agree with that?
And nasty. It was pretty dang good.
That's a gapper cut off by Briggs. A long single with 2 outs by Loya.
It had the most, I'd say spin and most deception, but Christian Schmidt lived off of a extremely good changeup. Brittany Sneen, I mean, really all of the great pitchers have to have one, but you're right. Woljasper's changeup was just pure nastiness.
We've seen her throw it 4, 5, 6 times in a row. Of course, that's most likely coming from the pitch caller in the dugout, which shows the confidence that LSU's pitching people have had in calling for that pitch.
But the pitcher has to have that confidence also to deliver that, that pitch and all pitches, to believe in themselves. And that changeup, you got to throw your guts out. You got to make it look like everything else.
Here's Kaylee Powell, who has grounded out to the second baseman pylon.
That's a low blooper.
And that's in for a base hit.
Oh, that was...
Pleasance picks it up, whips it back to third, but not in time.
Not a good decision by Newland to leave her feet on that. I mean, she really doesn't have a play on the ball. Now you got 2 runners in scoring position.
The shortstop Pleasance was chasing that one and actually made the play, picked it up behind the left fielder.
It's a good thing that Pleasance was there.
That's going to be ruled a bloop double after the gamble by Newland. So runners at second and third.
Kilponen in the young season. Let's see if she can show her mettle here and get herself out of this little jam.
And Yvette, that's the first extra base hit allowed by Tiger pitching today in a game and a half. And that was a bit of a bloop
But
double.
You're right, but it goes down in the scorebook as a double.
Riono looking to get her team back in this game.
Good job by Callan again. That's twice now. Runner at third, drop ball in the dirt, hard drop ball in the dirt. And she makes sure she's a backstop there.
She's got that catcher's stare, doesn't she? The at-bat continues. The Illini have had 3 chances with runners in scoring position tonight, and they are over so far.
Just making Kilponen throw some pitches here to her.
1 base hit here turns the complexion of this game.
It's a good battle here.
Here we go at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Allie Kilponen rocks and fires. Loop to the left side. Pleasance can't get it out of her glove. Now throws it home. They've got the base runner hung up. Throw back to Coffey. Out at third base. A base running mistake by Loya, who got caught between third and home after Pleasance picked it up, but then put it in her pocket. Loya, thinking the throw might be going to first base, got hung up between third and the plate.
She kind of composed herself and saw that she could hit that trailing runner.
So that'll go as a fielder's choice to allow the runner to score from third, and then the runner at second also tried to keep coming and was hung up. And Coffey lines out to her counterpart to get things started here in the 4th.
Yeah, and you can't hit it any harder than what Coffey just hit it. Ooh, there's a good-looking change.
It was to Morgan Smith. So just to make sure that we report accurately, it was Bella Loya who scored with 2 outs from third. It was Kaylee Powell who tried to come across from second base. She was trailing Loya, and then she was thrown out as she got into the pickle play between third and the plate.
And 2 miscues by the Tigers in that inning. Newland trying to dive for that ball, and it got past her, and so the runner was at third. And then Pleasance not being able to just dig it out of her glove.
The 0-2 pitch to Morgan Smith. Wasted wide. Opening day, and it's been a beautiful one here in Baton Rouge. Temperature bumped a little higher than 70 this afternoon. 66 at game time for this finale. Steiner turns it into an out. Quickly 2 gone here in the 4th. And Presley Pylon will come to the plate. She reached on an error on a fly ball to right. Calland is on deck. There are 2 outs. That's fouled off the foot of Pylon. We are so delighted that you have chosen to spend your afternoon and evening with us here on the SEC ESPN network, as softball has arrived.
Well, don't you know that Illinois was so excited to get on that plane after playing just an all-conference schedule last year? Back to some normalcy for them.
That's dug out of the dirt on the backhanded side. Very nicely done by the third baseman, Delaney Rummel. Tigers go quickly and quietly in the 4th. 3-1 LSU.
Peterson now in for the Tigers.
LSU got 3 in the 3rd. The Illini got 1 in the 4th. 3-1 right now. Here's the outlook for Illinois this year. 7 starters returning. If they get to the NCAA tournament, it would be the 4th time in 7 years. And of course, as you mentioned, Yvette, they are delighted to be returning to non-conference play. We've got some changes defensively. Peterson has gone into the game at second base.
Now batting right fielder, number 2, Gabby Robles.
Gabby Robles is at the plate. She struck out in the 3rd, and we'll get you caught up on the defensive changes in just a moment.
We are just zipping through this game. Pitchers have done a good job of keeping that tempo up.
Well, and very few bases on balls.
Right.
I've got only one.
Very few hits. No walks and not a lot of hits. Keeps the game going.
Peterson makes that short hop pickup.
Got a little highlight reel over there tonight. Isn't that funny how that ball always finds that new replacement on defense?
Now batting shortstop, number 31, Megan Ward.
You have repeated on tonight's broadcast what you've been hearing from the LSU coaches for a few weeks now, and that is Sydney Peterson is a terrific rookie defensive player at second base.
She's a girl of many talents. They had Meet the Tigers here the other night, and she challenged one of Beth Tarina's daughters to a worm competition.
Oh, the dance?
The dance. She was really pretty good. Of course, everyone voted for
All
the
infielders like to get in the dirt, though, right?
You're right.
3-1, we move on. 3 infield outs, and the fifth. Who knows? You may be looking at tomorrow's varsity softballers in your picture today. A lot of youngsters out enjoying this action on the first day of the season. LSU leads the Illini 3-1.
Oh, I love it. When I was that age, I was at a baseball game because there was no softball game.
Look at the lost production for the Tigers, primarily from Aaliyah Andrews and Amanda Doyle.
Of course, we said Andrews' sisters in center field for the last 9 years. And, of course, Amanda Doyle still with the team, though, as a student coach. So still giving her input and influence on the Tigers to this day.
Andrews led LSU a year ago in batting average and also may have led the country in Superman catches out in center field.
She had to make the ESPN highlight more than any other softball player, I think, in the country.
Air Andrews. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kate Calland, who is catching the second game. She is 0 for 1. Lauren Wiles has pitched very nicely for the Illini. Her defense has let her down. Callan lines it out to left, and it carries out to Meade.
That ball hard, just no eyes.
Here's Briggs, who had a base hit and an RBI last time. Sierra is 1 for 2. Briggs misses the bunt. She's a bit fidgety as she approaches the plate. She'll walk around, take a couple of practice swings right there. Now she'll work that hand on the bat. That left elbow is going to pump a few times. There, yeah, that is.
That's all her routine.
Absolutely.
She's not one for sitting still.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Hence our nickname for her.
Spinnerbait. Three runs, only 3 hits for the Tigers. 1 run, 4 hits, but a costly error for the Illini. The off-speed is high and away. Briggs will walk away again. There's a practice swing. There's another one. Left hand to the top of the hat again. Kind of points the bat. Left elbow will pump. The second baseman cannot pick it up. An error on Steiner.
Will's defense is kind of letting her down a little bit.
That's not an easy play.
No,
but
the ball's hit hard, but it's a play you have to make. Tyra
and
Perry's
everybody is going to come to the circle. I don't know that I've seen this.
Sure you have.
No, every player?
Sure.
The outfielders as well?
Yeah. She wants to get everybody's attention.
Oh, I absolutely.
You saw me do it probably more than once.
I tried to block it from my memory, I think.
Now we're going to stop this foolishness right now because we're right in this game. We can't afford to do anything silly here. Of course, that's not really what I said, but I cleaned it up.
Not with that tone, anyway.
Cleaned it up.
I know. And there may have been a French word or two.
Yep, maybe. Don't want to let the game get away from us right here when we've closed the gap.
Now, Tyra Perry was not in an LSU uniform when you were coaching LSU. She was a little bit ahead of you, right?
But I coached against her.
Right.
She played against me. Yeah, those were the early years when they brought the program back. Sister played here also. Dad's a high school, he may be retired, was a high school principal, I believe, in the Baton Rouge area. I'm sure her family's all over there above the third base dugout.
Here's Pleasance. She has tapped back to the circle twice. And was 0 for 3 in the first game.
She wanted that one.
Yeah, that's a high strike. And by that I mean high in the strike zone, a very legitimate strike. I'm impressed with young Lauren Wiles, aren't you?
Yep. And she's done well. You're right. I mean, an era opened up that inning. Throw a freshman out there on the road. Opening game. Good
Off
pitch
speed,
to steal
runner on the move. And no problem at all in taking second base.
I think the LSU coaches are picking up the change-ups because we've stolen bases on all of them.
So Briggs advances into scoring position. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Taylor Pleasance. And we'll do it again with a full count. LSU 2 for 5 in scoring runners when they're in scoring position. And that's a bit better than the first game when the Tigers were 0 for 6.
Just trying to protect there.
Very nicely done by Wiles. She quickly reacted to that spinner in the dirt and with no hesitation threw a strike to third for the tag on Briggs.
But the Tigers have kind of made 2 base running mistakes, in my opinion. The ball's in front of them. They can't make the out at third. But you're right. She made a nice play defensively.
strike to Sunseri, who unleashed a titanic home run back in the third inning, and right now that's the difference in this game. That was a 2-run homer, and the Tigers lead by 2. The outfield is very, very deep.
Except
and
for
straight
center.
away.
Except for center. Kind of shallow. Wow. You don't have to offer too much in this game. That's the second one I thought that was like, okay, never mind.
That's out of play into the bullpen area for LSU on the right side.
You're right, Lynn. That screen does eliminate a lot of souvenirs.
What did softballs cost per dozen when you were coaching?
Maybe $60. No telling what they cost now. Like everything else.
Runner on the move.
Once again, a changeup with a steal. Uh-oh. Pleasance is taking her glove off. See.
Pleasant sliding here. Oh, her left hand was stepped on by the shortstop covering.
Those are steel cleats.
You could clearly see in our replay that Taylor Pleasance had her left hand stepped on by the shortstop coming over to try to cover on that throw.
She, she picked it up immediately and then knew that she had to put it back down. Didn't see blood, so hopefully there's no cut. I think the Tigers are going to get very lucky with this one.
Well, you could easily suffer a broken or dislocated finger.
Of course.
Even worse if you get your wrist nicked. It's a lot of bones in a very small area of the body in that wrist.
Very lucky because she stepped right in the middle of her hand. Good thing she had gloves on.
Indeed.
Another reason to wear them when you slide. Beth's heart can come out of her throat now.
What's the option at shortstop defensively for the Tigers?
Well, I think they have a few people that have practiced there. I mean, middle infielders. We've seen 2 of the second basemen.
Sunseri goes down on strikes. Well, that mistake might not have occurred had the inning been not been extended by a routine fly ball to right, which was dropped. Here's Steiner. Steiner at the top of the order is 0 for 2. Kilponen sailed through the 5th inning. She got 3 very quickly induced ground ball outs, 2 to the right side and 1 back to the circle. This could be trouble. It's hit hard and it drops in front of Newland. Steiner rips one into the left field corner. She's aboard. Steiner is just too good of a hitter to hold down the entire game.
Now batting for Illinois, left fielder, number 24, Stevie Meade.
Here's Stevie Meade, who has flied to right and fouled out to Coffey at third.
Just a freshman.
An exaggerated open stance. And Kate Calland Could not hold on as she came out of her crouch, and then just that ball was about head high, and she just didn't make it.
Got to catch the top of that rise ball. Yep, you got to catch the top of it. Tip it down.
That's a pass ball. We'll see if it hurts the Tigers.
Illinois can call their, well, she's still going to trying to get that runner to third.
Coffey makes a nice play over to Peterson. That is difficult for both the thrower and the receiver because there's just no room, and often your vision is blocked. If you're the second baseman, sometimes your vision is blocked by the runner.
Truly no room for error.
And you've got to throw it around the runner or over her shoulder, and there's a very little window to make that play work. That was nicely done.
It was a nice bunt.
So a runner at third with one out. And we've got a one-run game on our hands right now as Rummel quickly deposits a base hit into center field.
No quit in this Illinois team. Just didn't get that screwball in tight enough. But there's the importance of the, well, you've got the pass ball and then the importance of the bunt, but the pass ball was kind of a killer there.
A one-run game in progress now in the sixth. Here's Bella Loya.
Change up.
Out at second, out at first. Peterson, Pleasance, Clark, turn it over. The second doubleheader of the day for the middle infielders.
About as good as he gets here.
But a run in for the Illini. We've got a... Well, Yvette, we talked about Tyra Perry's experience here at LSU, and she's not the only one on this Illinois coaching staff with a tether to the Tigers.
No, this is, I'm going to call this LSU Midwest, because not only is there Tyra Perry, who's a graduate of LSU, Lance McMahon was under Beth Torina for, as you can see, from 14 to 16. He's got his graduate degree from LSU, learned under Beth, so if you see a lot of the pitch calling and the drop ball, and then their director of operations was here under Beth, so I'm calling them LSU Midwest.
I like that.
A lot of friends on the softball field right now between the two dugouts. A lot of mutual admiration, and Lance was a huge part of this staff on the runs to the World Series.
We've got a one-run game brewing in the sixth. Georgia Clark, Allie Newland, and Danica Coffey are scheduled to hit. Lauren Wiles has pitched well. In fact, she has limited LSU to 3 base hits. 2 singles, one by Briggs, that produced an RBI, the other by Newland, and a long home run by Sinceri. If you chop that one up into singles, you'd have about 10 or 12 of them.
If they found the ball yet.
Ripped into left. Georgia Clark wraps it through very rapidly. She homered in the first inning of the first game.
The ball just jumps off of Georgia Clark's bat. Gets to the outfield in a hurry.
Runner for the Tigers.
KK Madry will be the pinch runner.
Madry, the new runner for the Tigers.
Guess who her idol is, Lynn? With
You.
that number. No. No. With that number.
42.
Her dad turned her on to it. Jackie Robinson.
Oh, yeah, sure.
California girl. I should have given you another hint.
You should have said UCLA. That would have helped. or the Brooklyn Dodgers.
How many hints do you need?
A bunch.
I thought that was cool. But she said that, or she said her dad kind of turned her onto it. And so that's been her number for
And of course the baseball field at UCLA, which is off campus and right across the street in a very pretty area of Los Angeles, but right across the street from a tremendous veteran cemetery that's like Arlington and kind of mimics some of the European cemeteries in France. But then the Jackie Robinson baseball complex, it's a very small field, but it's right there. It's an area that makes you think. Runner on the move after the bobble.
That's great piece of base running. Ball in the dirt, as fast as you are, you got to get to second. And she did.
Madry wasted no time. That ball was in the dirt. And Madry moves up on the wild pitch. So now Newland with an RBI opportunity. She chased one that kept working its way off the end of the bat. That's a very nice pitch by Wiles.
Tough pitch for those lefties to hit. See if it starts as a strike. Oh, that ball just drops off the table also. As you're right, the ball just kept tailing away.
4 strikeouts for Wiles, only 1 walk. Off speed and a little tight, apparently, to Coffey.
Good first pitch, though. Tigers could use this run for cushion.
Let's see if Coffey can find some caffeine right here. The 1-0. Hit to her counterpart at third. Out at first, throw back to third, not in time. An event that perfectly illustrates what you were just talking about with Madry's speed and alert demeanor on the base paths. It's not a ball that a lot of players could take third on from second base.
She knows her speed. They're trying to say she's faster than Andrews. I'd kind of like to see this race, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. That would have to be proven to me.
Yep. And this is from her teammates, not the coaches.
Morgan Smith has popped up to the second baseman and grounded out to the right side.
Yes, Farina said this young lady hit really well this week in practice. Sure, that's why she's been given this opportunity. Got a big bat wrap, though. Did you see that?
Here's the 1-2 pitch with a teammate at third and 2 outs.
Hanging tough in there.
2 runs, 6 hits for the Illini. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Tigers. LSU's bats have not been booming in the first couple of games, other than a Clark home run and a Sunseri home run. But they are within sight of winning the first 2 games of the season. They will carry at least a 1-run lead into the 7th inning. The outfield is pretty deep and straight away. Here's the 1-2 pitch to the youngster Smith. It gets through the catcher. Here comes the runner from third. And the Tigers, on a misplay at the plate, pick up another run.
How about the Tigers manufacturing that run? How about the base running there? She just earned that run for the Tigers with her alertness.
And
ball in the dirt. She steals second.
2 wild pitches in the inning helped a great deal. The 2-2 pitch lofted up into the net on the right side. So LSU now leads 4-2 with the 7th inning looming for the Illini. Lauren Wiles gets a strikeout to earn the inning, but the Tigers claw and scratch their way for another run in the 6th. Only 1 base hit. Madry scoring on a wild pitch, and we move on. LSU up 4-2. We go to the top of the 7th inning. LSU with a 2-run lead over the Illini. And Allie Kilponen is trying to do in the second game what Shelby Sunseri did in the first game, and that is go the distance for a victory.
She's had some good defense played behind her.
First baseman, number 5, Kaylee Powell.
Kaylee Powell will step in first. That's ripped right into the leather of Georgia Clark. Powell just tattooed that on a line to her counterpart at first base.
It's been some well-hit balls tonight right at people. Good thing they have gloves.
Here's Kelly Riono with 1 out.
It's a huge out, though. Get that first out.
Off speed, it drops in for a strike. Riono is played as a pull hitter and pretty deep.
That's only the 69th pitch for Kilponen.
Well, she has not walked about her.
That's being about as efficient as you can get.
And she's had several innings of 6, 7, 8, 9 pitches. And also LSU has turned a double play behind her. Riono was completely fooled. That pitch was not close to the strike zone.
No, it wasn't, but the sell of the pitch fooled her.
2 outs in the 7th. Yvette, as I look at my scorebook, I only see 2 fly ball outs to the outfield the whole game. Meade flied out to right in the first, Ward flied out to left in the third, and that's been it.
And she's a curved rise ball pitcher. She's not a drop ball pitcher. I mean, they're working on it, but that's not her forte.
Wiles giving up 4 hits in 6 innings, walking 1, striking out 5. Kilponen has not walked about her. She has fanned 4 and allowed 6 hits, a third of an inning short of 7. 8 ground ball outs and a few pop-ups on the infield, along with those strikeouts, but no walks, and that is always a huge component of success.
2 very well thrown games in the circle by both pitchers. Ooh, look at that changeup coming to life.
Off-speed pitches have been much more frequent the last couple of innings.
Pulling that out of their back pocket here in the 7th inning. That ball stays right on plane.
Vickery is 1 for 2, a ball and 2 strikes. Another off-speed pitch, tapped to the right side, gloved by Clark. She's on the bag, and the Tigers win it. The Illini were gritty. They got good pitching from the freshman Wiles, But LSU did enough with Kilponen throwing effectively and that 2-run home run in the 3rd inning by Shelby Sunseri, and that was enough for LSU.
The Illini wouldn't go away. They made it very interesting, kind of scratching and clawing, but the Tigers did everything they needed to do, got the big blast, played good, tremendous defense, and a great effort from Kilponen.
Now, don't forget, tomorrow, both LSU games will be right here on the SEC ESPN Network, and then Yvette and I will be back